G'day, lads. Welcome back to the One Eye Pod. It's what round is it?
8 review.
It's round 8 review, and it was absolutely disastrous. I mean, it could have been, if we took one path, it could have been one of the best weeks of our lives. And if we took another path, it could have been the worst week of our lives. And I think I landed somewhere in the middle, but Will, tell us your honest thoughts right now.
I mean, I may as well get the sunglasses out. It's my worst score of the year, hopefully. Just, embrace what's fucking happening right now. I mean, by when I saw Lachie Whitfield getting tagged on Saturday, I knew I was done for. Because it went Tom Green. I just saw Tom Green's injury and I was like, that's a bit how you go, and I'm going to need to trade him out. And then I realised, hang on, Lachie Whitfield's not shit. He's getting tagged. And then I kept watching him, and it was the hardest tag I've ever seen in my life. And then from there, it just kept getting shitter and shitter and shitter and shitter. I'm going to share my score. I mean, I'm actually... Sorry, can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually... for the podcast listeners, I scored 2,066. But I only lost nearly 3K ranks. It could be a lot worse. But
it could be, mate. I saw someone lose 10K ranks from like the top 1,000, and he's gone down to like 10,000.
Like, I was projected 2,500. 2,000. I know a lot would have probably.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of crazy scores. But Dacos, great player. I may as well just get into it. Stallion can be Nick Dacos. Sheasel, I saw him lining up with the mids.
I told you.
And yeah, there was a bit of talk about it, but then I'm like, oh, surely, it's a bit 50-50, but he was warming up, in the mids. And then I'm like, well, fuck, I have to use my vice captain now. And who do I use it on? I'm not using it on Jack Steele. I should have just used it on Jack Steele. Elliot Yo, 80. I'll get on to Yo in a minute, but it was a sad day because I remember messaging you saying, Elliot Yo's the only reliable player, and I should have captained him. And I went to bed. I went to bed, so pissed off, and I wake up, he's injured. I'm like, fuck me, And then Whitfield reset him 54. The rookies, Nick Martin's been obviously pretty good pickup. I mean, we should never have traded him out. Then Sarong, good as always. He's been a quality trade in. It's merit. He was the reason why I went to bed, because he was peppering her. Like,
it was on like 12 at quarter time,
mate. Like, and I knew he would bounce back, but I was just like, I don't know about this. This week's been carnage because, the Bond, Butters, Steele, they all went all right. Green with a 5, that's so painful. And I know a couple of people that were anti-potting Green. So, imagine if you actually had that. Like, Jesus Christ. And Wilson, if I had have had Wilson in my forward line as originally planned. So I originally planned to trade out Powell, and then I saw Green get injured, and then I'm like, oh, this just means I shouldn't be trading out maybe a Primo. And he was training with the mids. He wasn't training with the forwards, so I reversed my trade and traded out Lazaro instead. But I wasn't thinking that maybe Wilson would have been important to have on field, because I had to keep Powell, obviously. And Wilson just goes off his head 126. So I was just like, this is just one of these weeks, eh? Like, who else do I go on about? Jai Clark, 78. Well done.
After all the shit talk you gave him,
he's on my bench. He's on. Yeah, well, that one TikTok hater, we can. Hopefully, she's listening, and I've actually congratulated him. That's what we want from Jai. But like Max Gorn, like, I went to bed because of you too, because you were on about 50 or 40 at half time. What was it? Something ridiculous. And I've just gone, this is just
It was
disgraceful,
on 12 at quarter time, I think it was.
mate.
Not good.
I traded in Sweet. I'm happy with the pick, to be honest. I mean, if I had Grundy, I would be happy, like you. But even Meek. But if Rowan looked like he was labouring hard, and like his score was pretty lucky, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was mostly forward. So if they're doing that team, because Jack Hayes is in, I'm actually quite happy I traded out because I think I'll either be able to catch him again, or even though I said he's on my never again list, but you know, a ruckman will be catchable because Sweet will get to around 400k. The other ones as well. I brought in McRae 2 weeks ago. Did you watch the game, Michael?
Nah,
The
I was watching a movie.
Mate, Bevo doesn't have any idea. The Magin of the week is Bevo. Like, how can you so Jack McRae had 64% tog. He was on like 5 at quarter time, and then he was just building in the game and then absolutely killing it after half time. Like, and then he just rips him off again, Bevo.
Where'd he put him?
I think they were playing him half forward, but I think they needed Bonton, but they maybe needed Richards on or something for the last 2 or 3 minutes, and they ripped McRae off. Like, they're a good player that some of his kicks was like, I honestly think he played a really good game, but he's just being used in a shit role. So I can either, Libba's out apparently this week, so McRae might get, I don't think the CBA's changed, but he might get more of a sort of mid run. But all he needs is just I'm pretty sweet on cool on the pick. Like, I think he's better than Powell and Reed, but you just want a little bit more. Like, an 81 doesn't feel that good, especially from Hawthorn, but it could have easily been a 90 if he got his shit together. And
They
Bevo,
lost to Hawthorn.
I know. See, so, and I'll take the glasses off because it's not needed anymore.
Okay.
This
Let's
could have
bring
easily
up the
been.
spirits now.
This could have easily been. I mean, it's not spirits, but this could have easily been Dylan Moore, Zorko. Who's around that money? I wouldn't have been Zorko. It's around 460 sort of K wise. So I could have maybe. I don't know who I would have brought in instead. Oh, Dale. That's actually a big one. I chose McRae over Dale. And what did Dale do? Just go ballistic. And then Bevo.
Still got his role. How's he still got his role?
And then Bevo changed him to the forward lineup in the fourth quarter. So this just proves my point that Bevo is our Magin. He doesn't know what he's doing. Even when Dale is killing it, and I mean killing it, he gets changed. So it's just royally pissed me off, Bevo. And it just proves he
What do you
can't.
think he's trying to do? Do you think he's like pretending to coach by just
Yeah,
moving around?
it's
his
honestly
people?
pretending right now, Bevo. If you're listening, you're destroying all of us, SuperCoach community. I've got doggies mates that are absolutely shattered because they don't know. I mean, well, they do know. He's probably the problem. Like, that's what they say. They don't
Close
think
his eyes and go.
I just don't. It just doesn't make sense. Like, even Bontempelli, right? Bontempelli is sitting, and it's happened frequently in close games. He's sitting on the bench, and they struggle to get him back in. Surely they learn from that, and maybe sub him at halfway and change his rotation so he can be at the end of the game. I don't know. I think it might be a bigger issue in the Bevo, but he's got to be to blame. Surely,
I think so. Like,
yeah.
he's obviously moving around all the magnets and making all the calls. Like, nobody's telling him to put all these people in the resis and make all these people sub and put certain people in. Like, why is Sanders still playing VFL?
Exactly.
What's going on there? Yeah.
And he got 33 touches. His first game of VFL, I'm pretty sure. I know Finn McRae's getting 30 touches a game, but so it's just crazy what he's doing. Like, I mean, we can move on from Bevo.
Go on. Hit us with your Magin.
Well, the Magin was Bevo because I think I'm entitled
is that
to
it?
say Bevo. But the other one is, I mean, it probably is Bevo. Like Tom Powell, I actually don't mind the Tom Powell pick but he's not a good footy player.
He sucks.
But he's not going to lose as much cash, but it sucks because I didn't trade him out and I would have been able to do my trades in a minute where I could have got Yo for Ryan and Clary for Roberts. And that would have worked, but I chose to keep faith in Tom Power. So I guess it can be my Magin because he screwed all my trade plans. But if he's getting 50% CBAs, I feel like he can get a 90 soon. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to pray to.
No, you know what it is? He has way too much money on his head right now, or even last week he had more money on his head to be pumping out just shit scores. You've got people like Wilson and fucking who else you got there? Cadman went 65. Like this is the same as what Tom Power's doing, and he's got so much money there. Just trade him out, get another primo in, and run some rookies.
So this is my question, and this is what I've been trying to figure out. I can get rid of Powell or Roberts this week. I'm thinking of getting rid of Powell instead. I know it sounds
100%.
crazy, but like, at least I know I have more faith in Roberts than I do Powell. And then
I think Roberts has topped out his score, but I don't think he's going to score 50s. I think he's topped out in his price. Sorry,
he was very unlucky. Yeah,
he's going to keep like kicking.
Yeah, and he had very low. I think it was a weird game for him because it was real wet, and he wouldn't have been able to do what he normally does. And then he had low tog as well. But I think I might keep him because my original. There's two ways I can go about this. All right, I guess, and this is why I messaged you beforehand. I want you to tell me if I'm stupid or not. But I could go. I guess this could be the safe plan. Where's old mate Darcy Jones? I mean, if I'm doing this plan, I probably could keep Powell and I could trade Combin, to be honest. So
there's probably no point in trading Powell in this.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to trade Powell, you want to try to replace him with a primo, not trade out a primo and Powell and get only one primo.
Jones. Big helmet head. The big helmet head. So I could.
And how did he play? I didn't even watch it. Like, did he play good? Well?
He actually stood up more than anyone else. Like, I think he's been highly rated. He's just been. Well, he did his ACL last year, but when I watched him against, I said it on the pod last week. Like, this guy is electric, man. But he proved himself again. I guess there is always a risk. They've got all their players coming back. So you could maybe go at no Sullivan. We're going to talk about it later, but you could go Lachie O'Sullivan or whatever his name is, Sullivan, instead. But this, I could do this right, and it gives me 153k in the bank. And is Luke Ryan essential? I guess you were going to comment on that later.
I think, yeah. Do you want me to comment on it now?
Well, to just start with it, he's number one in SuperCoach at the moment. Player. So does that say something already?
I think he is essential, but like how much is he? 640?
Yeah. It's this week or never. Unless he comes down. But I doubt he comes down.
This is what I'm saying. I think he comes down to 640 again. But I think like this Luke Ryan is Luke Ryan. Like you're not going to trade him in. You're not expecting him to pump out 150s every week. Like he could very easily against Sydney pump out like a 100 or 120, or he could go massive. I think he is essential to have at the end of the year.
He could get tagged as well because I just watched Whitfield get absolutely towed up by James Jordan. So, but they're two different.
But have
players.
You missed the boat on him?
Nah,
don't think so.
I think
it's a good trading.
Yeah, my whole plan was it just hurts because I guess I'm not really upgrading here. I'm just using an injury trade. But at the same time, I'm downgrading, so I'll have someone for Roberts next week or Powell. I guess I was saving. The whole plan was to why I brought Powell in. Like I had enough money for Ryan this week, and I was factoring in he's going to be 620K. This is going to be marvelous, and I just did not see this up. Well, no one can see 197 coming, but like,
We
come on,
predicted 160
yeah.
though.
Like
Last week on the pod,
seriously,
go back and quote us. We looked at his
yeah.
break even and we went, he'll hit that.
I mean, one other move I can do,
Show other stuff, yeah.
and it's, I mean, I can speak to just the options, but I'll have this trade, and you can see how the format sort of looks. Is Powell out, Yo out, because Yo's confirmed 1 or 2 weeks, so I think you just got to get rid of him. I made 150K.
If he comes back,
Um,
he's getting managed as well.
exactly. Yeah, nah, I agree. How do I do this? What am I doing? Yeah. All right. So mids, it's the pig, um,
You're going to go Clary.
Clary Oliver, and then here it's a toss up. It's Sinclair at the moment, but I'm equally torn between him or Hayden Young. Hayden Young quite helps the buys a fair bit better. But this gets a rookie off field as well.
Yeah, this progresses your team.
Is Ryan going to kill me? This is a question. Sorry, I'll sub.
Could. It's just if you have the cojones to antipod him.
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, the question is, do you rate Oliver? Or should we wait 1 week?
I'm 1 second. I'm personally doing waiting. I'm wait and see for Oliver. He's really cheap right now.
You can't lose with this price.
Yeah,
well, you can.
He's super cheap. I don't think he goes below 90. Like I think he's averaging around 90. But there's so much upside.
I think he could average
I mean?
basically if you buy this player right now, you're trying to buy him for 100 average. I think he could average 100.
I think he could. But what I'm saying is that if you buy him now, he's probably not going to go get any scores below 90.
Yeah, true. True.
But you're bringing him in. Like the risk I'm saying is he won't go below 90, but you're bringing him in. Hopefully he goes above 100, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty low risk for 476K. But at this point in the season, it's you also got to factor in trades and priorities and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, so I can either do this. I can either get Ryan and then wait and see if Clary's any good, and then just get him next week, and I'll have 100K spare just upgrading, or I get 2 primos, which I think are primos. So Sinclair, I've looked into Sinclair. He's been quoted after the game or something like that. It was on Honeyball AFL. I think Ross, the boss, was basically saying he's going to play a lot more mid-time this year, which I remember last year we talked, is that the best role for him?
I don't think it is.
But I think a lumbering steel will can make his points go up. I think.
Well, he had that last year.
Yeah. The other one is Hayden Young. Yeah.
It'd be a very similar role to last year. And last year he did quite well actually. So
yeah,
I'd probably take that back. Hey, he probably will do great.
He's in 1.9% of teams too. Sinclair. I feel he's getting overlooked.
We said this last week. I was Steele is Sinclair's going to come in there and take all Steele's, not take his CBAs, but help out the CBAs. And he did, and he played his best on. He played incredibly.
Yeah, so he had
against
76 CBAs. It was a fair increase. The last one was 30 and 25 from memory. His past 2 games, so I think he's building. And if you look at his previous scores, he He's got 1,000 trade-ins. Fuck, come on. I wish it was only 5 trade-ins. Just make him an ultra pod. But he's got 124, 89, 73, 113, 134. So I think he's got a 5-round average of 106. There is Hayden Young, though, who I rate. I just feel like it is just.
Can you go back there?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've traded him back in, and then I'm like, is this just my starting team, basically? Like,
Basically, hey.
yeah. The other one, Stewart. I'm pretty cool on Stewart. I don't know about you, but I
She's
think
probably a very safe pick.
safe. But I think Holmes and Zach Guthrie, like the other boys are standing up a little bit more. I think so. I feel like his points are a little bit less, and that's proven. Like, wasn't he going berserk in the? Well, you watched the Melbourne game, didn't you? The Melbourne Geelong game. I'm pretty sure he was on like 70 at half time, and then he sort of even more maybe, and he sort of slowed down.
Nah, Melbourne Geelong, I was like in and out watching
Yeah,
Merritt.
I'm
Seeing
pretty
if
sure he
Gawn
slowed
was still
down.
a Pelican, watching Merritt.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about Stu. I'd rather just go one of those two that that I just talked about before. But that's really the plan.
And
Yeah.
is there anything wrong with trading out Yo and putting in a forward or a midfielder rather than putting in another defender? Because
Yeah, well, I've tried putting in some. Ideal person I could have done was Zorko, but it means I'll be pretty stuffed up for the first buy, but because I've already got Whitfield and Green and all that. But it means I have Graham and
who's the first
Closey.
buy?
I think it's GWS, Brisbane. It's the round 12 buy from memory. I'll just get it up for 1 second. Yeah, so North, Sydney, Brizzy, and Giants. So I've already got Whitfield, so I'm already carrying a few players. I guess I don't think I can, because if I trade it out, I'll just do it here and then I'll flip it to you anyway. Yeah, so I'd have to trade. I would have to trade. What's his mate? I'd have to keep Powell, so Powell would occupy one of these mid slots, and then Zorko would sit there. I can't be bothered with this app, but it would mess up my structure a little bit. It means I'd probably have to. I think it stuffs up my structure.
Just because if you wait a week on your defenders, Dan Houston has a break even of 136 or 126.
Yep.
Could hit that, but he's coming down in price. Should be like around 590 ish.
Yep.
He's definitely someone I'm going to be looking to target. But yeah. Do you want me to show you my team?
Sure.
Cool.
But to summarize, what move would you do you think? Would you lean towards just getting Ryan in and take the hit and you're not getting an extra primo?
Do you want me to be completely honest with you? And I will be.
That's why we need it.
This guy here, I hate all of them.
Really?
I don't like any of them. Nah. That's why I was like, can you trade out? That's why I was like, can you get in a different option, like maybe in the forward line or in the midfield or something? Just because I feel like I would love another week's data on Sinclair to see how he goes in the midfield against not North Melbourne. But then he's got Hawthorn next week.
But
Clary, Luke Ryan's good, but you're not going anywhere. You're just sidewaysing.
Yeah, but that's what you have to do, I guess. Well, that's what.
Yeah, but you have options to go other places. But you asked me. You said, "Do you like any of the trades?" If it might be what you have to do, but I still don't like it.
I know exactly. It's just one of those. Well, if Yo's out 1 to 2 weeks, Green's a test. Like, you got to trade one of them, surely, because just like you just said.
Oh
he's
yeah,
gonna
you
get
got to
managed.
trade Yo.
He's just going to get managed. But
yeah.
Anyway, we've literally swapped ranks. By the way, we've swapped ranks.
We swapped ranks. So I went 22-18, and even though this is good, pretty par score for this week, and you should be happy because it was a destroyed people. I'm a little bit fucking pissed off because if I just did the trades that I said I was going to do on the podcast last time everyone saw my team, this would have been 2468, I think it was. And ladies and gentlemen, that gets me into the 1000. So it's really, really.
Is it that close? Is it? I thought there was a bit of a gap between the 2K and the
Nah,
5K.
2000's like 200 points. It's like nearly 300 points. Sorry, and then it pumps me into there. So you live and you learn. And I went for a walk before the game started on Friday night. Collingwood Pies. I was walking my dog Perry, and I just had this urge in my head, and I was just like, it just said to me, put in Sarong, trade out, put Zach Williams back in, trade out Sarong, Darcy Wilson into the forward line. And I said to myself, I'm going to do it. When I get home, I'll do this. I had a shower, jumped in the computer. I did it. I looked at my team and I said, this is fucking silly. And then just undid it and went to these trades again. And I regretted it.
But what were your trades?
My trades ended up being I used 2 trades, and where is it? Oh, trade history. I did Williams and Dempsey into Merritt and Sweet.
That's still solid, but
there's some solid trades. But could have been Sarong in there as well, and it could have been like a 200-point play. Anyway,
who would have Sarong been in for though? What was it again?
Yeah. Steele, Powell, and Dempsey for Sarong, Merritt, and who else came in?
There were so many plans.
Who was the rookie that just came in?
Rogers. Rogers.
No, it was Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Poor people that went Rogers this week. I just want to. Lucky you didn't go Rogers, man. He scored like 15 or 25, didn't he?
He'll come good.
He will, but
that was the worst game I've ever watched in my
hurts.
life. It does. That fucking hurts real bad. Chris Fagan, like, even though a lot of people get into him about being a shit coach, like, he outcoached the fuck out of Damien Hardwick. He just made it high, like really high marking game. Didn't really let the ball get into dispute. So he couldn't let like contested pigs and Took Miller and Anderson run the ball, Rao to have an impact. Dunkley went to Rao and shut him down basically.
Yeah.
And just stop the ball from being in dispute the whole game, and it destroyed it. It was the most boring game to ever watch. I think at halftime it was on track for the lowest possessions ever or something like that. Both teams' pressure rating was poor because the ball was just never on the ground. It was just constantly getting kicked and chipped around. It was...
So that's why Zorko
destroyed them.
That's obviously why I never watched the game, but that's why Zorko popped off then. Because he would have been getting definitely marks.
It was all through Zorko. Any like kick that went long, he was the long kick. And then he was pushing up and kicking from 50 and nearly getting goals. He missed 2 goals. He could have launched, but yeah. Anyway, getting to my team, I might as well just start off. The Stallion, Luke Ryan. King Bloody Ryan. Have a look at this.
You always get these big scores. They always seem to find you, and it pisses me off.
Hey. They don't
Unless you didn't buy some.
I searched them, At the start of the season, when I saw this 165, 127, and then we traded out Hayden Young, there was only one player who I knew I wanted to bring in, and it was Luke Ryan, and I fucking made it happen because I knew that he will pop off. He will also fuck me, but he will pop off. And fucking oath, he popped off, cunt. Fuck, I was on the way to a shoot with Amanda, and I said, Amanda, do you reckon you could? I was driving on the freeway. I was like, do you reckon you could look at the SuperCoach scores for me? Tell me what Luke Ryan's on. And she goes, he's on 100. And I go, what quarter is it? She goes, it's the second quarter. I go, what? And she goes, I'm like, is it ended yet? And she goes, nah, it's still going. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I said, what's the wrong on? She's like, 60. I'm like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm fucking ahead of Sarong right now. And then it got
Caleb went
to,
nuts.
yeah, got to the third quarter and then he was on like 150 something. And I'm like, he's going to double ton. What the fuck's happening? And then
I don't
I
think I've ever
worked
had
and
a.
came back.
Oh, no, I don't think I've ever had a. I'll probably have. I've been playing SuperCoach for 10 years, but a double ton, that would be. Because I remember when Callum Mills, I didn't have Callum Mills and he went 212 or something crazy like that.
Mm.
But it's a massive score and it helps you, doesn't it? When you get a player doing.
Oh, it did. I would have been fucked otherwise. Like, imagine if
Exactly.
this was just 100, then I would have scored the same score as you.
Yeah, I
It would
know.
have been.
Yeah, yeah.
The worst part was as well, last week we were looking at him going, what's Richmond to defenders? Oh, they're like the worst. And then
Yeah.
160s and we're like, heck, he's going to launch. Like, he's going to go massive. And then we didn't really talk much about it. And then we just
Yeah.
kept like talking about our teams and he
Yeah. As
fucking
we
went
do.
massive.
Yeah. He was. I think that's his price right now. Really, like I don't think
It
anyone will
depends
tag him. Is he
if
taggable?
some, I don't think it is because it gets a lot of his kicks from kick-ins.
Yeah, and it's a
Um,
60-meter bloody bomb. Like
yeah.
it's unbreakable.
So I think he's just, and we said this, like we want players in our team who piss points, who just piss
Yeah,
out points.
yeah,
Luke Ryan pisses out points. But it's all dependent on players in the team. If they don't have, if Arlo Draper, oh not Arlo, what's his name? Josh Draper.
yeah. Josh Draper.
Yeah, if Josh
Yeah,
Draper was in the team, he doesn't get this score.
yeah.
You know, like I don't think he does. But as soon as we saw the team sheets, we cried a little and did a little yes. Anyway, on to Nick Dacos. How good's this? Isn't this just like exciting to see that Dakes is back and we got a VC option on Fridays, even though we're playing this Sunday, but
Captaincy.
you know what I mean?
Captain
Yeah, like
him
we
with no
he's back.
yo. With no yo,
Yeah,
easy.
how good's it?
And
We're gonna be able
Tom
to go.
Mitchell's out. Tom Mitchell's out
Yeah,
again. So yeah,
they're all out. I don't think Geordie's back either.
no.
We Mate, just slap the captain on him every. We're going to be able to watch the Pies and Nick Dacos destroy.
Yeah.
It's back to what loving watching the footy. Sheasel, I kind of expected that. Nick Martin, Closey, and Howes. I need to get this guy Howes off my field. I don't know how to get him off the field.
How did he score 80 that day, man? That was crazy.
Oh,
Like, I was so happy. Like, because next week I think he's actually has to get traded out. But
yeah. Like
crazy.
I've even toying with trading him out this week just to try fix my structure a little bit. But
interesting.
I have no clue what I'm going to do this week. I just know who I want, but I have no clue what I'm going to do. Merritt, I bring him in. I'm so fucking happy I got this guy in my team. In the third quarter, I had more fun watching Merritt in the third quarter of this game than I ever have in a long time. He was unstoppable.
It's just like the merit of this season. It was just our luck that we maybe found some toy merit that's like from a Toys R Us shop, and then he switched it on to prime merit when I went to bed. So I got to go to bed every time when Zach Merritt's playing,
because he was everywhere. He kicked goals from the boundary line, from in front. He was getting contested possession. He was on one side of the ground, and you know how you follow your opponents in your head, like, oh, he should be around here. Like, this might come to him. I'm like, he's no way. He's there. He's there. Like, he was just, every time he had the ball, he was just like, just like sucking in like air as hard as he could.
He's bloody fit.
He's
bloody fit.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. Anyway, Bont did what Bont things finally. Butters, Walsh, this was fucking depressing. Should have been a 130, but just went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Too busy watching Dacos. This should have been like a 110, 120.
You mean not watching Dacos?
Not watching Dacos. Ball watching.
Thanks, Samuel.
Yeah. Oh, mate, we'll talk about that later. Pies chat definitely this week. this Tuke Miller score, he was the best player on the field by far for Gold Coast. This should have been like a 110, but he kind of just in the last quarter, last half, I reckon, just slowed down completely. Had some big stints on the bench, just kind of stopped looking like he wanted the footy. But in the first quarter, mate, Tuke, like in the first quarter, he was just hustling everywhere.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
saw.
stop
I
running.
was looking at the scores a little bit while I was watching a TV show. But
Mm,
yeah, him and Flanders were the only players trying basically.
mm. He
Well,
doesn't
not
stop
trying.
running.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack Steele looks
What about
terrible.
Steele? All right, lay it all on me.
Jack Steele, like I actually want to get your 2 cents because
Yeah.
when I watched him, he looked really, 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 really bad, and I don't know how he got to 112. I think it was. I have no clue how he got to this score. And does he look like this all the time? Is this what he looked like when he was getting his 120s? Because this is what he looked like last
Nah,
year.
it
And
does
I'm
it
actually,
does feel like last year. A lot of people commented. I didn't watch him closely, but I hear people talk about owning him last year, and it's the exact same thing as what you said. You know,
mm,
it's what everyone says. This is the Jack Steele of last year. You're not the only one saying this.
oh,
Um,
thank God, because
but I feel like he's got Hawthorn next week, who are piss poor, with their sort of um, what am I trying to say? Like their matchups and all that kind of stuff. They're pretty leaky. Like Bont can go 140. I think Steele can have a good week, but I don't see any issue. If you have the trades, you could trade him. Like,
fucking
yeah,
trading him.
yeah,
Sick of
yeah.
him. But the only thing that I'm holding on to right now, and this will bite me in the ass, and I fucking bet you, come next week he'll be in my team still, and I don't want it to happen, but I bet you it will. He pisses out points somehow. How did he get to 112?
Yeah, he did. He literally handballed a ball onto LDU's foot or something and got a like it was out of bounds on
Nah,
off
that's not what
LDU.
happened. Did you see what happened?
What did he do? He
He
tapped it or
he
something.
he was on the boundary line. He was laying on the ground. He punched the ball out.
Punched the
He
ball.
punched him
Sorry.
out,
Yeah.
and
And
they called
L-
it on full on LDU. LDU didn't even kick it.
I thought it touched his foot, but anyway, I was like,
Nah.
this is prime Jack Steele, like laboring like a 40-year-old man at Rezzies, and like trying to just figure out how the hell do I do something in this game. Because that's why I
Ugh,
was so hot on Sinclair, because Sinclair was dashing and Steele, the whole time Steele was scoring well, it felt like he just won the ball. It didn't look like he was winning any ball. Last last game, and
no.
if he's going to be heavily reliant on tackles, I'm still going to hold him. I reckon he's a buy flip, but if I had a boost like you, maybe it'd be a different story.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get rid of him. Tom Green, I didn't even watch the game. Disappointing, but I feel like
Broke
everyone
his
copped
leg.
that.
No, he didn't break his
Yeah,
leg, but it looked like he
disappointing.
broke his leg.
Matt Roberts, I mean, he's a player that if the trades look nice, I'll trade him, but don't care if I keep him. Darcy Wilson, I think I'm going to try to start him on field. I've got to sort out my forward line as well. I don't know what's happening with my team right now. Heaney, Flanders, Reed, Powell, you're going to go. Darcy, maybe. Cadman, maybe. Brody Grundy. Can I do 2 Stallions this week?
You can do whatever you want, mate.
I'm going to do 2 Stallions. Brody Grundy's equal second Stallion. I mean, thanks, Brody. That's all I got to say. But I've got some bad news for you, Brody. You could be getting traded out this week, unfortunately. But thank you for your 140. It was really, really,
Oh,
really, really nice to
how
me.
much is his break even?
It's about 100,
Right.
110.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been way smaller than that.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
it will be next week, actually, won't it?
Um,
It may be next week.
83, 140. Is that what will happen when that gets out?
We'll go down. Just
But
so
so
his
he'll
break
be
even
is
67 the week after.
so is
So he has to
he
beat.
versing Luke Jackson here? Because is
Yes.
Darcy injured, I saw.
Darcy's confirmed out, I'm pretty sure.
So I should probably keep Brody Grundy.
Yeah. I think he should.
Yeah, it's just terrible for my structure. Anyway, and my absolute fucking Imagine of the week goes to
It's gonna be bad.
no, it's not gonna be Pow.
What about
He
Biggie?
does fucking say Biggie sucks as well. Pow sucks as well. You want to know who it goes to? It goes to Closey.
So rough.
No, it's not. This guy was on like fucking 5 at halftime or something.
Oh,
This
that's all
guy
right.
just kept kicking it out on the full. He couldn't stop kicking it out on the full. Oh, he got a couple kicks. Oh, yeah, sweet. He's on 10 points. Kicks it out in the full. Oh, he's back on 0. Oh, yeah, sweet. He's got another 10 points. Kicked it out on the full. Ah, he's back on 0. Guy was just constantly on 0 the whole game. Scored 43 in the last half. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I reckon Graham's a better SuperCoach asset than Closey. Is that wrong of me to say? Because I feel like
think it is. If
Graham's
Closey didn't have any clangers, he probably would have gone around like 80, 90.
right, and that's just Graham's
That was
score.
just Graham, yeah.
Yeah, true.
But to be fair on Graham though, it was a really low possession game, so he's relying on possessions and like tackles, so he couldn't even do that.
Yeah. Anyway,
trades for this week.
Closey may be gone next week as well. Well, not
like
gone.
Trade out.
Yeah, trade out worthy.
Yeah,
I was looking at it the other day. Yeah, it's a shame.
I have no clue what I'm going to do this week, but I have one target. His name is Dane Zorko.
Yep.
And I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to get there, but let's work it out right now.
Because who else are you going to try?
I don't know. Actually, I have no clue what I'm doing. Will, we're doing this all together right now. I've done a couple attempts at trades, and I just can't really find anything I'm happy with. Just a little bit in shambles, honestly.
577. Who's around that price? So there's Parrish around there.
Nah, I can't put Parrish in.
I know how you feel about Parrish. Players I can afford would be. Yeah.
Shut up, idiot. So put in Laird. I don't mind
Ask
Laird.
for my help and then say, shut up, idiot.
I can put in
mate.
Track.
Nah.
Who do you think? Who do you think? Zorka. Hayden Young I can put in.
Why don't you... I mean, you could put in Hayden Young and then... I don't mind the Young pick, to be honest. Because what defenders could you get if you maybe kept Cadman and maybe traded out? Oh, no, you can just do that, can you? Right.
Yeah. But like this isn't like I can, if I need more money, let's just give me maximum amount of money. There we go.
597.
I can get more money than this as well. Like the money isn't an issue for me.
I reckon Darcy's got a little bit in him. I would trade out Roberts first. You don't want to trade out Roberts?
I don't need to trade him out, I don't think.
Well,
like,
I know what you could do. I know that might ruin you, but you could get Lachie Neal in.
The middle. Then I get Zorko and Neal, and then I've got
that's what I
Tuke
said.
Miller. No, sorry, not Tuke Miller. I've got Heaney.
Yep.
So I can only have one, and I think it's going to be Zorko. This is what I'm saying. At the moment, I'm like, what the fuck do I even do? And then I've done like things where I'm like, do I trade out Howes instead of all these people and try fix up my back line, just structure a little bit better?
You could trade him Matt Crouch again.
I actually looked at that. Don't even get me started. I should have
All right.
kept him.
So
To all
what's
the Supercoach listeners and viewers, we will cut to when I have some. See what I mean? Though I just don't. I know I want to bring in Zorko. I know I want to bring in Houston for all the Spotify listeners, and we're back. I know I want to bring in Zorko. I know I want to bring in Houston. I know I eventually want to bring in Sarong. But I really need to sort out getting rookies off field right now because they're fucking killing me. So I need to get people like Cadman needs to get off. Darcy needs to get off. The only way these people can get off though is by getting rid of like Howes and or a spot up here or like Newen or someone like that. So eventually I'm gonna have to take a hit somewhere. My team will be looking better and fixed after this week. And I think the person who's going to have to take the sacrifice is Grundy. Like, is there a way where it's not? But then that's just like a double sideways if you go Grundy and Steele. So you needed to really pick one of them.
and you would choose Steele, to be honest, wouldn't you? You know, Grundy's actually doing all
Grundy's
right.
and he's got a good run coming up. I mean, he's got for the people with Grundy still, he's got Luke Jackson coming up, who he'll probably beat. He's got Pitnet, then he's got
Yeah.
English, and then he's got Geelong, then he's got O'Brien, which will be hard, and he's got Briggs again, and he's got back, and then he's got Freo, then he's got St Kilda. So he's actually got a good little stretch here of like 4 games that he could
And you
score
could
quite
keep
well.
him. And you could keep him.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and he could end up being R2. Hey,
get a grip. Get a grip. I love how you just put that in there. Just fucking idiot. Bailed.
How
You
far
got
off
bailed
is
with Grundy, bro. Cherry's way better than him.
he's nearly coming. He's coming through. Look at this. Grundy just keeps kicking on. English is going to drop again. R2 Grundy. I called it at the start of the year. It's coming. It's going to happen. Anyway, team, should we move on?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's a good. At least you got 2 boosts left. I used my last boost 2 weeks ago, or last week. So at least you have, your options to do
Yeah.
something exciting.
I mean, I'd
And
love to hold on to these 2 boosts until buys. My original plan's like,
what are you doing with Green? If you've got a boost, would you trade him out? And say if
he's
he's
not
out, sorry.
performing.
Well, I mean,
What's
if
that?
he's out this week. If he's out this week.
Oh yeah, I'll boost him out.
Yep. Lucky you.
I would probably even boost out Steel Green and then maybe a Roberts and try get like, but that's 2 sideways. I'd probably keep Steel then if Green was out.
Yeah.
And I would just go Green Roberts, get another primo in, and then trade Steel next week.
He looks pretty bad, to be honest. So I don't know. Who knows? I think Green. His ankle was pretty buggered. But that's all right, I guess. If he's a test, I think this can be the season. This point of the season, if you have your boost, great. But if you're still, where I'm looking at your trades, you had 21 or something, 23 spare, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got 23 trades left.
Yeah, so if you use two, you'll be similar. Well, you'll be 2 ahead of me. But say if you use 3, you'll be on 20, 19. Like you're getting to the point where if it's a 1-week injury, just hold it. Like there's no real issue there. But and they won't be risking him too much. I think they've got a plethora of players coming in. So if he's fit to go, I think he'd be right. Where Steele is the complete opposite. They need Steele to remotely, to achieve anything really. The other things I had just quickly, just on the top of my mind is these SuperCoach ads that are coming up regularly on your feed. I know you haven't had anything yet.
What?
These SuperCoach, you've never had a SuperCoach ad yet?
Nah.
Where are we?
Go on, let it rip.
No, I just can't believe it. Maybe it's because I'm on it all the day, so I see them regularly. But mate,
What
I
are
have
they?
to just random adverts, and you have to exit out of them so you can actually just perform another trade. And I've seen it.
Really?
Yes, I've seen it on Twitter. Maybe just look out for it. Maybe they're just trying to. And my theory is, why are there ads on this shit if we pay for SuperCoach Plus?
I 100% agree. I didn't even realize there was
Yeah.
ads. That is crazy.
Yes. Look. Just watch out for them, Michael, because they've happened to me today. So I think it's today that they've been trying to just implant the
Oh,
seed.
no.
But why are we paying for SuperCoach Gold for that? We're paying for the premium product.
I
So
know. We literally pay money.
I
So,
was that was meant to be my first thing that I was going to
boycott.
say. Yeah, but what a shame. What a shame it is if it continually happens. I'll be monitoring it. I want you to monitor it, and I want all the other listeners to monitor it, and just if there is if we're experiencing these issues, we should speak up because that's the best way to get these things shut down. But back to the important stuff, the trades. I think we really talked about all of them at length. I mean, if you could rank the best buys between Clary, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe we could divide them up into the mids and defenders. But if you could have Clary, Tracker, or Zorko, where would you be ranking him right now? I know you could probably wait another week on Tracker, but would there be an order that you're wanting them in? Do you think Zorko is a clear top six player forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Zorko with the role he's got easily top 6. Like,
Yeah.
he looks phenomenal back there, barring he doesn't get injured or he doesn't
Which is
hurt
always a
him.
risk, to be honest.
It's a risk,
Yeah.
but if he can stay away from injury, he's easy top 6. Yeah,
I
he just looks great back there. And I was talking to a Brisbane mate of mine as well, and he said that, he doesn't think that he'll be moving
No,
from back there anytime soon.
they changed it once, and it obviously didn't work
Yeah,
because
they got
the
pelted.
pelted. There was no real direction the way they were playing in. They're real methodical, just like you just said. Speaking about the Brisbane game, where they like to target the players and you know choose the best
Mm.
option, and that's what Zorko provides. So I guess it's everyone could say that um, he's their best option in defence because Coleman's out, and I
Mhm.
don't know why Fagan changed it. Like it's pretty stupid. Another one I just wanted to point out was Dylan Moore. He's flying under the radar, I reckon, because he last year he was. I think if you wanted to look him up, you got it in front.
Mhm.
So last year, I'm pretty sure he averaged 95,
91.
91. So what was the year before? He's
Um,
been pretty reliable with the 90s, I think.
Year before, he was 94. Yep.
Yeah. So, and this was without any CBAs, but now he's getting chucked in the big moments, like against Bulldogs. I think he kicked that goal to. I can't remember who kicked the final goal. It might have been Sicily, to be honest. Um,
Yeah, it was Sicily.
but he, I think he could definitely finish top six, and I guess you'd probably still pick Zorko um, in front of him. But I guess if you don't want to take a risk because Zorko's a high chance of maybe getting managed every now and then, I don't mind it. He's like in the leadership group and all that kind of stuff. But it's now or never as well. But you've got
For Dylan Moore, you reckon?
yeah, you've got the others coming down anyway. So I guess you can always wait on these forwards. Um, but the other sort of options I had in front of me was really the midfield, and maybe even you could throw Stew into this, but Clary and Trucker, who would you rather, in your final team? I know it's a bit early. I feel
Yeah,
like Trucker's dropped off a little bit.
everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Tracker will be top 8, top 8, top 8."
Is he going to
I'm
be?
not. I'm not seeing it. I think
No.
Clary's playing better.
Well, his tog has dropped down as well, so I don't know if he's carrying anything or, they're playing really well, so they're not going to change it. The thing I noticed about Clary's time on ground is around 75 to 80, and his previous year was 86 or 88, like he was a freak. But I
Mhm.
think they've reduced track as well. Just track
Do you want me
doesn't
to look
look
it
as
up?
track doesn't look as damaging as that he was.
DFS players. Who's the first one you want to look at?
Well, I already know that. Just look up Petracca because I already know Clary's is around 80. It used to be 86s and all that kind of stuff, but now it's 77 and that kind of range. I'm trying to load up.
So this year he's had Christian Petrarca's had 79
The
tog,
same as Clary.
76, 79,
The, s-
81,
the
79.
same as Clary.
Yeah, the exact same,
Right.
73,
I think I'd
81.
go Clary. I'd go Clary instead of Petracca, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's go look at Clayton. Clayton Oliver, for all the listeners, has had a time on ground of the exact same shit: 77, 76, 78, 75, 75, 78, 71. So it's basically the same. I'd love to look at CBAs for them as well, because I'd love to see what if Petrarca's getting put anywhere else, or like why he's just playing so
I,
bad.
yeah, he did get tagged. He did get tagged against Richmond, but
Okay, Petrarca has had from the start of the
a bit of a
season
dip.
58, 62, 45, 63, 68, 75. Then he had a 57 against Richmond and then a 54 recently. Clayton Oliver, 63, 69, 77, 80, 68, a 42, and then an
Yeah.
81, 78. So he's getting heaps more CBAs.
The 42 as
Um,
well. He broke his thumb, didn't he? As well, because
yeah,
he had
yeah, yeah.
surgery. So I think he was labouring a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind it. A few Melbourne players reckon he's back to his best. I mean, at
Mm.
460k, that can you just believe it? Like
Clayton Oliver, 460K. Who is this guy? How
crazy
is this happening? Are we
and
in a
like
dream?
absolutely crazy. But yeah, I think I'd rate the same. And I mean, even Stewart, are you planning to have Stewart in your team? Do you think he's a top six sort of option? That was just
I
my
don't
last.
know. Hey,
I don't think
like,
so either.
I don't know what I'm feeling. That's what I was saying. When we were going through my trades before, I was, I know I want Zorko in my team. I don't know who else I want. I know I want Dan.
Mm,
I don't know who else. I don't know if I want Stewart in. I don't know if I want Clayton Oliver in. You've just thrown Dylan Moore at me then. I didn't
yeah,
really know much about him. Now I'm like, oh, maybe I want this guy in my team. So like maybe do I just put in Dylan Moore and
I
Zorko
think
this
I
week?
think you
Like,
go Zor. Oh, that actually wouldn't be bad at all, to be honest. But I feel like you could probably get a better midfielder in. Surely there's something you could go Zorko and a better midfielder or a defender in than maybe more, because the forward options, they're still bugger all. I guess you've just got those two
mm,
spots like Cadman and Darcy just sitting there. But I mean, Shea Bolton, he dropped to 36, so he's going to go around 520k. So, um, yeah, there's going to be a heap of options out there. Like, so I wouldn't be too stressed about if you miss Moore or you miss Zorko. Like, they're just going to be a little wave. Like, it's
mm,
not like they've been predictable yet. You could wait, see if McRae comes good, like we just talked about for the last 2 weeks, and hopefully Bevo gets fired, and then you're not stuck with Moore, and then you've got McRae. So there's no rush to get two in right now.
yeah. No, when the St Kilda was playing, you're telling me a little bit about Hayes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so it looks like he's taken a little bit of the weight away from Rowan Marshall. Is that
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it does look that way, and that's how it was 2 years ago when he was playing. Like this guy was one of our best rookies. Then he did his ACL in 2 years ago, 1 year ago, no, 2 years ago. But because he was a rookie, sort of, I think he was a 102K. Look at his scores because you're sort of new to Supercoach, so you wouldn't have no idea about him. But if you
Mm.
go 2 years ago from season stats, so 2022, I'm pretty sure he played.
One sec. I want to get some. What is his name? Jack Hayes.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get some statistics here.
So he was on fire when he was playing his sort of
So
first few
2022, he
games.
went
Yeah,
127,
yeah.
68, 57, 105, and then 16. And he got
I think he was an
interchange.
102K rookie at that point.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So
Okay. And this game that he's come back, he's had a 65 disposal efficiency. He's had 30% ruck time.
which is the
That's
same
kind
as
of what
what
I
he
wanted to
did
see.
last time. Yep.
Yeah.
I I
Um,
I think he could be an option next week. I guess
mm,
it's kind of a point where now we're talking about rookies. We've got Lachie Sullivan who has a decent job security, who was sub for Carlton Collingwood, but had to come on at halftime. I think he got a 75. Um,
mm.
and he's
And
100. Yeah,
he looks really good. Like he
yep,
looks very comfy. And you were just about to say he's
yeah. He's
102K or
100K
whatever it
cheaper.
is. 100,
100K cheaper.
yeah.
So why wouldn't you do that instead of Hayes?
And I think he holds his spot for the time being. That is
Yep,
like I know Tom Mitchell is out for appendicitis. I know
yep,
Jordan Ngoe's injury could be a little bit longer than just 2 weeks.
yep.
Um, so I don't think he'll lose his spot anytime soon. So
No,
I don't hate the pick. And if he performs this week coming up, it's going to be a great like 2 week little stretch for him to see how he goes.
I
He'll
mean
probably won't be sub next week.
Jones is the obvious one. The other one I wanted to point out, but he's also another Collingwood boy, is Harvey Harrison. So
Mm.
I mean, you can go on Jones. Jones has had 270s in a row. I'm pretty sure, so he's pretty safe.
75 and a 70.
Just job security is a major issue, but I think he's played himself into that role. But the other one's Harvey Harrison, whose job security is quite good.
Yeah, I think he holds his spot as well. I mean, Harvey Harrison looks phenomenal in our team. He looks like a great footy player.
I'm, I kind of like him more than Jones, to be honest, because when you looked at his first game, he came on for a quarter, sorry, for what was it, the Anzac Day game, and he got
Yeah,
48.
picked a
It was
snag.
crazy. I know
Yeah.
those scaling points would have been massive then, so that probably factors into a lot. And he's actually 60K dearer than Jones. It
Mm.
looks like he's Jones is averaging more as well. But I don't mind Harvey Harrison. Maybe if you went early on Jones last week,
Harvey Harrison's pretty slick as well.
he's a good player. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of him, and he's wearing 36. So Swanee's number, I just cool number.
Oh, how
They
good's
obviously
that?
trust. They obviously trust him.
Big number to have on your back.
Exactly, and mate, he's living up to the hype. Um, I think we're ready to do some VCC choices.
Do we want to have a little before we jump into the end? We haven't had this segment in a long time. Actually, a long time. Shall we have a bit of pies chat?
Yeah, we can
Oh,
spend some
jumping into the
time on it.
pies, pies chat. How good was it? Final, not finally, but how good was the win against fucking Carlton? That was, mate. I've
I
watched
did
that.
see a lot of Carlton podcasts really digging us in. Yeah, well, not dig us in, but like really shafting us and saying, it's going to be an easy win, blah blah blah. And I told you beforehand, this could be this could be a shellacking. And I told you to buy Sam Walsh because you had him. But I was like, no to Goey, all this kind of stuff. And I was proven wrong, wasn't I? And
Yeah.
Brody Mychek as well, torn his hamstring and kept playing on. So he's out
What
for
an
the
absolute
next.
beast. Mate,
Gee whiz.
I've watched that little replay of Dacos kicking that goal about 100 times. About 1,000
Cool,
times.
calm, collected.
You know how many... You want to know what else I have for us? The best. The best fucking recording I've ever seen in my life. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to get this up live. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is this it? Please be this. Did you hear about the Blues radio?
I know all about it, mate.
Ball thrown in, 52 out from Collins' goal. No! It's all over. Kicks an unbelievable goal. Yeah, Kitty. The ball play. Oh, yeah, look at it dancing.
They are devastating.
Big Cooter.
Great reader of the ball.
Mate, this Blues radio.
They're going to make... Don't get me started on that because they're making a new Geelong radio apparently. So...
This is going to be a really bitter pill to swallow. A really, really tough loss.
Don't get me started on Andy Marr as well. He's a goose, that bloke.
I was just sitting there, woke up in the morning, instant eyes open, big smile on my face. It's a good day. I go down, my coffee, sit on the couch, jump on Twitter. Just looking at all these Carlton supporters just crying. Just, this is the best day of my life.
But we had Marchbank out and McGovern and Sard. I mean, we had to go, mate. There's a number of things I could say. I mean, we just our kids. I thought we didn't have much depth. We've obviously got all right mid depth, and maybe McRae's not the answer. Sullivan's the answer. There's a few kids running around that are decent, and now Ash Johnson's got another crack of footy. Or will it be Ash Johnson or Reef to come in for checkers? So hopefully
I think it'll be Reef, surely. Reef just had a massive game in the Rezzies.
Yeah. So pay up that slab. We'll already owe you a couple.
How many games is it?
I think it's 10 games Reef has to play, and
And how many has he played?
I think he's played 4 because he had a sub game as well. He had a sub game as well.
He won't get to 10. All right, let's move on. Let's get over to the captains, and then we'll let it rip. Now,
yeah,
it's a tough one for captains this week. I mean, I don't think I'm going to go for a Thursday. I don't think I'm going to go for a Thursday night captain.
No. You broke my heart, Gorn. You broke my heart.
I mean, there's a lot to love about Saturday night, Gold Coast versus North.
Yep.
Maybe like a Tuke Miller. But you probably couldn't go past the Bontempelli VC against Richmond.
That is true. Yeah. And that's what I had. That's what I had beforehand when I was doing my thing. Because I don't mind. Flanders is like projected the highest in the whole SuperCoach this week. The whole of SuperCoach. Yeah, he's projected 149, which is crazy. Which doesn't. This is what's wrong with these projections. They just give you false fucking hope.
But, they do.
Like Nick Martin was 141 last week. I mean, yeah. Well, like if you're looking, I don't mind Butters as a VC option, but GMHBA, Mike O'Connor could tag because Rosé looks like he's out. I feel like, you can just hold off on that game. So it's really maybe the Giants, maybe a Merritt versus Giants who leak midpoints.
I honestly don't think you can go past Bont into Dacos.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a Real or someone.
Oh, yeah. If you've got Real, I guess. I mean, even Tuke would be a good option.
Yeah.
Anderson. But yeah, I mean, just trying to think. Optus Stadium, Sarong, maybe. Nah, not against Sydney.
Oh yeah, because this what kind of we just skipped over that game. What is with the AFL scheduling this week? Like it's just ridiculous. Like 2 Friday night games. I guess it's Mother's
Oh,
Day.
true.
It's 2 Mother's. Maybe it's Mother's Day, and they want to do that.
I think it's Mother's Day this weekend.
It is. But why would it's a bit weird? Anyway, I don't mind Sarong. Like Sydney, if they don't tag, I mean, why wouldn't you put Luke Ryan VC? Like seriously,
Nah,
nah.
next week.
Next week,
Yeah. Better options this week.
yeah, only 2 or 3. Anyway, so yeah, it could be Bont. Not really if you have English. You could VC English if you really had him, but
I don't think this weekend's a weekend where you can just where there's heaps of fun options.
Well, a lot of people are going Gorn. That's the truth of it all. Everyone's going Gorn BC.
Really?
Yep, most. So
shouldn't have told me that. I hate when you say it.
Well, it's quite
How
obvious.
do you even say that?
Captain's choices. Not captain's choices, coach's choices. No. You got to go down.
So Gorn, huh?
Yeah.
Gorn is the man. People
But
just straight seeing.
Yeah, their teams probably haven't changed. They're probably on the optimizer, the little cheap bags.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Yeah. Should we just wrap it up?
Yeah. Well, we haven't done the cherry on top, so should we?
Oh shit! Yeah, let's do the cherry on top for the
Did you want to
the
do
cherry
it
on top?
this
I didn't
week,
even
Michael?
post it last week. Yeah, I didn't even post it last week, but we lost by 1 disposal on the last cherry on top. Do you know how fucking? And it was Zach Williams who got subbed off.
Oh, they don't even have. They haven't even got the markets for it yet. Well,
I'll upload the cherry on top on the TikTok.
But yeah, Ty Law, you still haven't contacted us, mate. So the money's going good use to our sort of pop-up money.
Back into the kitty. I reckon we do a $10 cherry on top this week as well. Mark my words, $10 cherry on top this week, and we'll just be able to make it a lot easier. So we can just do $3 odds now. You know?
I like it. And at least Lachie Schultz can't ruin it because he's got 1 week suspension. So we're gonna, Bobby will get a goal. So Bobby will be in there.
Bloke?
Yeah.
Punching people in the back of the head. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, guys. He's had a hard career, Start to Collingwood.
Yeah.
But he'll come good, little nugget.
Yeah. All right, lads. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good luck this week. I don't know who we're trading in, but good luck. I'm sure it'll work out best.
Go Clary. Go Clary.
Go Clary.